Good morning, welcome to the channel. My name is Tommy if you're new here, and if you're not, then welcome back. We are doing something a little bit different today. It's me and Electric Jake, and we're heading out of Peterborough. We've just been through Elton, and today's ride is going to take us through 5 counties. Obviously we live in Peterborough, which is part of Cambridgeshire. That's where we started today's ride. We're going to continue this way, and I believe our first county border will be Northamptonshire. So come along and let's see which counties we can tick off the list on today's ride. It's that funny time of the year where it's not quite warm enough to leave the house wearing shorts. So bib tights are on, bib shorts are on should I say, with leg warmers today, and toe covers just to keep the wind chill off. It's probably about 8 degrees, which for me is too cold to have my knees out. I want to walk nicely when I'm 70, so I keep those knees covered. But as you can see, the sun is up there in the sky behind the clouds, and hopefully another hour or so into this ride, the sunshine will be out, and maybe we can start delayering a little bit. We are 6.5 miles in. The next village along our route is Fotheringhay, which has been on the channel before, but this pretty much means that we are now in our second county of the ride, Northamptonshire. So that's 2 counties in 6.5 miles. We rode 50 miles last week, and the video for that card is on screen somewhere now. But it took a good 2 or 3 days for my legs to start feeling normal after it. And it wasn't necessarily a hard ride, it was just a distance that I haven't really done regularly for quite a while. So I'm building up to it. It's going to be 50 odd miles today. It's 50 miles last weekend's ride. But this week, the only time I've really ridden was 20 miles Wednesday night, which was great to get out on these British summertime evenings now that we gain those extra hours back to get out in the week. So yeah, not loads of miles this week, and after today we're looking at about 73 miles for the week, which is probably the most I've done in quite a while. 8.9 in, we're heading now down towards Southwark in Northamptonshire, and after that, well, I forgot to load the route on the Garmin, but Jake tells me he knows it, so I'm following Jake now. 10.5 miles in, we're into Southwark, and we'll continue round to the right. Yeah, Jake? Round to the right here, past the pub and through Southwark village. This is where things start to get a bit hillier. This part of the road we're on now used to be part of the old Saturday morning ride. The problem is we used to come down this road, not go up it, and it was usually the fast part of the ride where we were all trying to tear each other's legs off. So riding the opposite way slowly with a slight headwind and uphill, it's a bit of a shock to the system. But we are 13.5 miles in. We've been through Southwark. Our next village along is Bullock, and I believe we're taking a left out towards a place called Deene, which does mean crossing the main road, but it's only a quick crossing. We'll get up there. It's only a quick crossing, and I think then we're not a million miles away from our next county. But look at it out here. The fields are open, scenery is beautiful, and hopefully that sunshine breaks through a bit more to warm us up, because there's still a chill in the air. Right, let's crack on. Today's scary part of the ride, riding along the A43 for, well, not very far, 300 yards maybe, but we are now coming towards Deene and Deene Park, and as always we're only 15 miles away from where we live. It's a gorgeous countryside like this. It doesn't take us long to get very far, to get some nice views, and pretend that we don't live in a city. But yeah, 15.5 miles in, across the A43 into a place called Deene, and there's a sign for the village. We're on a back road now, heading out towards sort of Rockingham, Corby area. I don't know if you can see in the distance, over there across the hedges, the old grandstand for Rockingham Raceway. Now, I've been to Rockingham Raceway many times in my life, whether it is to watch the ASCAR, the British ASCAR racing, or the British version of NASCARs. I've watched the British Superbikes there years ago. I think my wife watched Blue there years ago, the boy band. And on Thursday nights years ago, when I was racing this bike, I used to go and race around the circuit there as well. I'll put some pictures on screen. I'm sure I've got some in my catalogue of me racing around there. But yeah, Rockingham Raceway over there, I believe, is permanently closed. I think the land was sold and they're hoping to build houses on it. I don't know about what it's used for now or if it's used at all, but through the trees over there you can just see the grandstands. Sad times, because there's nothing like it really in the area to go and do those events at. And Thursday night racing there was safe, it was wide, it was enjoyable. To be fair, it's where I got most of my points. To be fair, it's where most people in the area that raced got their points. It was safe, it was slightly easier than some of the road racing. It was always good fun. But right, 17.5 miles in, we are just heading past Kirby Hall, which is down there, if you can see it on the camera. Nice big mansion whole house down the back there. And we're going to crack on. Let's see where our next county border is and where we're heading next. We're just at the back of it now. I don't know if you can see the grandstand here in the camera shot. But yeah, sad times. Goodbye Rockingham. Goodbye. As you can see from the previous clips and the fact that I'm still stood next to it, just there, we have literally just been through Rockingham, skipped down the road here and skipped into Leicestershire briefly, and now we're into our next county, Rutland. So we started in Cambridgeshire, that's number one. We've done Northamptonshire, we've blipped in and out of Leicestershire, we're now heading into Rutland. So 4 counties so far, 23 miles into the ride. And guess what, this next part of the ride is my favourite. Rutland is a place I would go to if I won the lottery. It's where I'd build a house, it's where I'd have a house in the UK. Favourite county in the UK. Let's go and see some gorgeous views and cycle through Rutland. The sun is out over the Rutland countryside and it is blooming gorgeous. There's still a little chill in the air, but I must admit I could delayer a little bit. I'm not going to, but I could. We are coming up to the halfway point. We are 24.7 miles into the ride and we are stopping for coffee soon at a Vineyard. And yes, there's wine and beer on offer. Today's coffee stop will be further up the road here at the Rutland Vineyard, and it will be coffee and cake we have, not beer and chips, as much as I'd like that. Anyway, let's crack on and I'll try and show you a bit more of Rutland countryside as we head on further up the road here. But it is gorgeous now. What a gorgeous day. Hopefully you can see in the distance just there, Harringworth Viaduct. We will go underneath it in a second and briefly skip through the bottom of Harringworth because we need to head towards a place called Barradon. And Barradon is where we'll go across the A47 and head towards Coppy. The last time we rode underneath this viaduct, there was a lot of flooding in this Welland Valley, and I'll put the card on screen for that video there if you want to check out how much water we saw that day. But yeah, 27 miles in. There we go, look at that for a view with the sunshine. Absolutely stunning. The last time we came underneath this Harringworth Viaduct, this field where the horses are, well, they'd have been underwater because we were underwater cycling on the road here. But yeah, Rutland. Absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. We're heading up now out of Harringworth. There's the viaduct over in the distance there. And we're going up this hill here. So I'm going to click you on the bars and start swearing and getting out of breath very quickly. About halfway up. And we keep going. Woo. We're getting there. Heart rate is 183. Woo. But look over there. It's all worth it when you can look out that way. See that gorgeous view. We're now into Barradon. This is where we want to be. And we'll take a climb out of Barradon up to the A47. Jump over the A47. And that's soon be close to coffee. We're 31.5 miles into the ride. And we're going to take a right turn just here. There we go, up to the A47, and we'll cut across here and go and get a drink. Whew. That was a hard little climb. Straight across, we're good. That's it, in here. 33.9, 34 miles in, we're still in Rutland, heading towards Stamford, but just here, on this bit of back road is the Rutland Vineyard, and guess what, it's got a coffee shop, so we're stopping here for a bit of a refuel, get a coffee. I don't think I'm going to have a cake today. I've got a bar in my back pocket I'm going to eat, but it's my first time being here, and I think my cousin's partner's family own and run this, maybe. I could be wrong, so Rich, if you're watching this, let me know. But yeah, here we are, Rutland Vineyard, and in this hut hopefully is a nice little coffee stop for us. Let's have a look inside. Look at this for a view at the Rutland Vineyard Cafe. It is glorious, the sun is shining, it's a little bit windy, but to sit here and have a drink and look over the Rutland Hills, absolutely beautiful. I think we're 35 miles in, we'll have these coffees, pay up, and I think from here it's probably what, 15, 16 miles home, so I've got another hour at least of riding to get us back into Peterborough. But so far, like I said, we've done Cambridgeshire, we've done Northamptonshire, Leicestershire, Rutland, and I guess our next place when we get up the road here towards Stamford will be Lincolnshire, so 5 counties in one ride. We did it, and it isn't that far. 53 miles I think today's route is going to be, and it just goes to show where we live on the border of all these counties. You can get into some decent routes in different places quite quickly and quite easily. Right, let's have this coffee and get back on the road. Well, that was Rutland Vineyard coffee stop. Very good and very reasonable. £5.60 for 2 flat whites, I think I paid. Very reasonable, and yes, it was. I did see the owners, and yes, it is my cousin's family that own it, so very good, thank you very much. We'll be back again soon. Right, 34.2 miles. We're going to head down here towards Ketton, Timwell and into Stamford, and we've just been told that Stamford Fair is there, so Stamford might be a little bit busy, so the route might change slightly, but let's head on. The sun is out, and the unfortunate news for the rest of this ride is probably going to be headwind all the way home. We're now into Timwell. We've just been through Ketton. Whew. Headwind, baby! Ladies and gentlemen, we've just made it into Stamford, which means we're in our 5th county of the day, Lincolnshire. 38 miles in, and we've ridden in 5 counties today. That hill was tiring coming out of there. The legs are getting a bit stiff now. Hopefully with a bit of downhill into Stamford, and maybe we can hide behind some hedges on the way out of Stamford for this headwind that we seem to have, and we'll make it home in one piece. But now the sun is out, it is glorious. I don't feel overdressed at the moment. I feel like I've still got the right amount of clothes on for the temperature. The wind is making it chilly. But right, I need to concentrate now, there's a few cars coming into Stamford. Queuing in Stamford. Oh, the church is going. There you go, serenading us. sign for Peterborough. Okay, we're pretty much still in Stamford, but it basically means we're back to Peterborough City Council territory, which is pretty much Cambridgeshire. So that's us, 5 counties done in one ride. But still, we've got 12 miles to get ourselves home into Pilsgate. We're back in Barnet. It was only a couple of weeks ago I was here on an evening ride. I'll put the card on the screen for that video if anybody watches this and wants to check that out afterwards. But yeah, 43 miles in through Barnet. We'll take a turn shortly up towards Uffington, which is another nice little village in this area, and that takes us on our route back in towards Marholm, Castor, Prairie Meadows and home. And I'll be glad of it today because I'm starting to feel tired. The headwind and the few hills we've been up and down today started taking their toll on my legs. So Jake's pulling a turn for me, and we all know he's electric Jake, which means he's fast. I can hide behind him a little bit. I'm alright, I've eaten a bit today riding. We've obviously had the coffee and I've got my drink bottles with me as well, so I'm fueled. I'm just still getting used to riding these longer distances again. That, I don't know about you guys, but hay fever season started, and my nose and snot that's come out of me today, geez, there's a lot of it. Right, let's continue. We're now into Ufford, outside the White Hart. Up this climb here, get our legs feel, give them a little test going up. You'll soon know when they cramp and I fall off. And a heap on the floor. No. 7.5 miles and we're into Marholm, onto our home stretch now, and this little bit of road here should be our last of the headwind today. But the headwind today, I think, is what's made my legs ache more than anything. When we were out in Rutland there, just heading straight towards Stamford, it's just headwind the whole way. I put some efforts in to try and stay on the front and get the legs moving, but I've got to remember, I'm not 25 anymore, I'm 36, and these legs don't work like they used to. We've turned, as you just saw, on the Marholm Road. I just said to Jake, this is our first tailwind of the whole ride. When we left home first thing this morning, it was kind of a side-ish tailwind. And then the rest of the ride has been pretty much headwind or side headwind. But we've turned now and it's finally behind us. Castor and Aylesworth, which means we're nearly home. I think we'll skip Prairie Meadows out today. We'll cut down halfway down here through Love's Hill and go along the railway track to get ourselves back home. Whew, we're on 50.7 miles. And my legs, well, put it this way, I can't stand up. And we did it. 52.6 miles, it'll be a little bit longer. I'll put the route on screen now for those that care. And that is the 5 counties challenge done. We started in Cambridgeshire, we went into Northamptonshire, we went into Leicestershire briefly, we then hit Rutland, and from Rutland, Lincolnshire, and then back into Cambridgeshire. So, total of 5 counties and total of 53-ish miles. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit that like button for me. And if you like the rest of the content that you see on this channel, or you might want to stick around and follow me for some more content, then hit that subscribe button. Thanks to Jake. Thanks to you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.